Hi everyone, I'm Karen Combs and welcome to FlossTube 21. I had to look at my notes to see which one it is. It is, I'm taping it on Wednesday, September 27th. I think that's right. And I've been getting stuff ready for like a day and a half and I'm still finding things. I thought just start. If I forget something, we'll roll it to the next FlossTube. But this is my channel for quilting tips, and stitching. And this is my stitching playlist, which is FlossTube 21. And so let's get right into it. Now, I've got a lot of different things to share with you. I'm going to do a hobby house retreat part 2 because there were things that I wanted to talk about last time that there just wasn't time, and I wanted to make sure to have plenty of time to do that. So we'll talk about that. I've got some handy hints and tips to share with you on supplies. I've got some answers to questions that were asked. I'm trying to read my notes without my glasses. And I've got a retreat news to tell you about. And I've got some whips, I've got a finish, yay, and I've got a little bit of haul. So I'm not sure what order we'll go in because it's all around me. If you watched the little video last time, I'm gonna re-put that in at the end of this video because I tried to turn it and it wasn't shot that way. So I'm gonna put it at the end so you can see it again, so you can see a little more of basically the chaos after a floss tube. And I did put a picture in the introduction of what it looks like before I start, which is pretty neat. And then afterwards, it's just everywhere. So let's get right to it. I had a couple questions, and I want to thank you for your questions, your comments, for liking the video, for subscribing. It's wonderful. I love reading your comments, so thank you so much for that. But I did have a question about the Laura Standish, I got it right here, piece that I'm working on. And the question was, what does stitch in reverse mean? And I probably should have said it a different way. These band samplers from the 1700s were often stitched, well, I guess in reverse is what it's called. But reversibly would be a better term for that. So when I'm stitching it, let's look at band 1 and band 3 and band 4. So let me hold those up so you can see it. So when I'm stitching it in reverse or reversibly, it just means the back looks the same as the front. Now, I did not stitch band 2, which is right here, in reverse. It's kind of in reverse. But the first band, the third and the fourth and the fifth, I think that's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. They are stitched in reverse or reversibly. So the back looks the same as the front. So that's what that term means, and the instructions give you the diagram so you can stitch reversibly. I'll say it that way because in reverse does make it sound like you're stitching backwards, and that's not the case. It's reversible, and it's done that way, I believe. Those samplers that were done in the 1600s, if you think about some of the paintings you would see, a lot of times their clothes were highly embroidered. So if, let's say you had a cuff and it was embroidered, the stitch would look the same on the front as the back. So I'm guessing that's why it was done reversibly. So thank you for that question. That was a good question. And another question, you'll notice I have my Quaker House sampler, not Quaker House sampler, Quaker Dwelling, sorry, behind me, because I had a question, what was the stitching behind you? Well, it's not stitching, it's Schnirren and Schnitte, which is cut paper. And I've had this forever, over 40 years, I think. I bought it in Shipshewana when we lived in Michigan. We went down there for a little day trip, and it's faded, but it's still beautiful. So it's just quilting, quilt patterns, quilt sayings. So it's all cut paper in a frame. turn it so you don't see the camera lights. So that's what that is. I thought you'd like to see a close-up of that. I don't know if I can hold it the back so you can see it. So that's what that is, and that's been on my sewing room wall for many years. And so that was also a good question because it did kind of look like stitching, but it is cut paper. So I got that done and that done. All right, so I got the questions done. That's good. Well, but there's one more. So I had, it wasn't really a question, it was a question I had. If you remember last time, we talked about the Early Americans series by Little House. And I said I had seen these done instead of pillows as one. I'm just going to go through these real quick. And I couldn't remember where I saw it. So I had several people comment, and thank you for that. You know, it's always one combination is better than just one person trying to think of something when you're trying to remember. But I wanted to share with you some things about that. So if you have this series, then you'll know where to find some information about stitching it in one piece. So Julie mentioned, yeah, let me say that first. Julie mentioned that Vonna Pfeiffer, who fantastic tutorials, and I'm going to put a link to Vonna's blog and also Vonna's YouTube channel. Fantastic information. But Vonna did the Early American series as one piece, and she designed a border, and she shared the border with everyone. It's on her blog. So she asks if you use it to credit her with that. So I'm going to put a link to her blog because she doesn't want people just copying it and sending it to other people. Go to her blog to get it. So I'm going to put a link there, and it's a beautiful border. So thank you, Julie, for mentioning that. And I'm pretty sure that is where I saw it. But Sandy also mentioned that Little House Stitcher, FlossTube, Angie, also did it in one piece. So I've got to check that out. And then Lori mentioned that Pat, who owns Stitching Unlimited, who was at the Hobby House retreat 2 weeks ago, who I met, and is lovely, she also did it, and I think it's hanging in her shop. So there's several places, but after Julie mentioned Vonna, I thought, that's where I saw it. I saw it on Vonna's video. And I haven't printed it out yet, the border, but I'm going to do that and put it in my bag here so I have it. So when I start, it's there. So I wanted to mention that because that was excellent information and helped me remember, oh, that's right, there's a border that Vonna shared with us. All right, so I've got that. So I've got, let's see, let's do some helpful, not helpful hints, some supplies that are helpful. And I'm just kind of chuckling because when I would travel and teach quilting, and even in my Zoom lectures, I would have a lecture called, You Bought That Where? And it's quilting supplies you buy other places than the quilting store, and this is the same thing. You bought that where? What is that? So it's supplies that you find other places than the needlework store. So in our little stitch group that we meet once a month, our little local stitch group, Deb shared something that fantastic, and I'm going to put a link to it. She got it at Amazon. It's a 2-inch by 2-inch pill pack with a zippered top. Now they also make them like a Ziplock bag. Those are a little cheaper and you get a few more. So I'll put the link for both of those. But this one has that zippered top. It's 2 by 2. It's for pills. So if you're, well, it's for other things too, but it's called a pill pack. So if you're going to go on a trip and you've got, say, pills or supplements or whatever, each day you can put it in here. But look, the bobbin, it's perfect. There it is. And she was going to just put a hole there so she could put it on a ring. So I think, Deb, that is genius. So I'll put that link there. And the other thing she shared, which I don't have it, I didn't get one yet. She went to the dollar store. And Andrew, who was at our table, at our little stitch group, she had made a grime guard. And I don't have one, but it's basically something you put around your Q-snap so as you're holding it, it doesn't pick up dirt, called a grime guard. You can purchase them on Etsy. You can make them. Well, she made one. And Deb said, oh, I got one. This is genius. I went to the dollar store and bought a steering wheel cover. Perfect. It fits the, this is a 8x8. It fits the Q-snap that's a little bigger than that. But if you've ever been to the dollar store, go back to the automotive section, look at the steering wheel covers. They're usually cheap, and a lot of really, sometimes wild designs, but there's a grime guard for you. So I just thought those two things, the grime guard, which is the steering wheel cover, and the pill pack Deb shared with us, perfect. I want to thank her for thinking outside the box with that, because that was amazing. I mean, we just, at least I did, sat there with my mouth up going, that's perfect. That's genius. One of the other things I wanted to share with you is we were in our stitch group and we were kind of talking about upcoming retreats. And I kind of lamented that there really isn't an event page where you can find where people are going to be or upcoming retreats. And then I found one. The Stable Stitchers, Roberta and Lenny, they have, and I'm going to put a link to that too. They have a FlossTube channel, and on their blog, they have an event page where you can see different retreats that are happening. Fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'll put the link. All these things are in the description box. Could be below, could be to the side, just depending on what device you use. Now I want to share one more retreat that's coming up, and this is some of the gals I sat with at the table. Cindy and Mary Lou and Belinda and some of the other gals go to what's called Getaway Girls Retreat. It's in Kentucky. I think it's like 25 miles outside of Bowling Green in Russellville. And Belinda holds a retreat twice a year, one in October, one in July. And they kept telling me, oh, you need to come to the October one. And I can't because we have other plans, but I'm plan on going to the July one. And I want to share this with you because the registration hasn't happened yet. Let me pull it up. It's on the Getaway Girls Facebook page, and I'm going to put a link to that in the description too. But it's going to be July 18th, 19th, and 20th in Russellville, Kentucky. And it's stitching. It's going to include door prizes. They're going to have stash enhancement, like hand-dyed fabrics, charts, other goodies. There's going to be a finishing workshop, small exchange, stitching challenge. There's going to be some meals provided. All the details are going to be on the Facebook page. Belinda just posted it 4 days ago. And so I am so excited about that, and I will post the link. So you have to join the group, and then you can find out the details. But for those of you that, well, I say are in the Southeast, come over, but there's people from all over that come to it, and it's small. It's not a big group. So it's really quite fun. So that's the Getaway Girls Retreat twice a year, and I put that in the description. All right, so I want to share one other thing before we look at some goodies. You might remember that I shared this in an earlier video. This is the disc for the Sampler and Antique Needlework magazine. Now it's a disc, and it has all the years, 1991 to 2015. I think there's 76 issues. So what I did is I am loading them, I think I have 30 right now, on my iPad. So I can just sit and read that issue. And what I wanted to share with you, because I have to be careful because I don't want to share too much, but I want to just show you some of the things that are included. I was looking at volume 8. And I'm going to show you the cover. There we go. So that sampler, the pattern's included in the magazine, which I love that little sampler. I think it's called Dutch Treat. So I might just have to do that one. But there's a series of articles by Darlene Osteen, who's fantastic work. She wrote the book, The Proper Stitch. And this particular series of articles is about 1700s stitching, which I'm working on Laura Standish. And I'm just going to show you real quick one of the articles. Oops, sorry. Let me go. There we go. That I'm reading. So she's talking about the different stitches, how you can work in reverse and hide your tails and hide the starts. Fantastic information. So that's in volume 8. Just wanted to share that because this is a treasure. I'll put the link. I did it before, but I'll put the link. Make a note of that. To it, because you just purchase it as a disc. You can read it on your computer. I just prefer to put it on my iPad, and then I can read each one, and if I need to, you know, zoom up to see something really close, I can. And the way I did that, I don't want to get too technical with it. There's several ways. You can hook your cord from your iPad to your PC. Load it on your PC, hook the cord up, and then transfer it that way. What I did after I did it the harder way, I use a service called WeTransfer.com. It's for big files. And so I would just select the file or several files I wanted to transfer. And then I emailed it to myself when I opened it on the iPad and saved it in iBooks. So that's what I did. And then after I did all that, my husband said, you know, you can just hook the cord up and do it that way. I'm like, okay, I'll do that for the other ones, because right now I think I have half. I have like 30 some on there. So once I get those done, I might have room for all of them, but I might need to take them off and put the new ones on. So wanted to share that with you. So let's look at, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Hobby House, My Life's a Sampler retreat, and that was with Vicki of Needlework Press and Tanya of the Scarlet Letter. It was a fantastic retreat. And I forgot to show the bag that Hobby House gave us, and you may have already seen this, but look at this beautiful bag. This feels like suede on the bottom. It might be something else, but it sure feels like suede. And this isn't printed, this is stitched. It's a beautiful bag that's just so well done. There's a zipper inside there. It's got the on the shoulders, so if you put it on your shoulders, it's a little easier. So beautiful bag that we got when we came in and registered for the retreat. I did not show that last time, and I wanted to. And then I want to show you some of the little gifts that I received and then what I gave out. Because sometimes you have questions, at least I did, because this is only my second retreat, maybe third event, but second retreat that I've ever gone to. So I had no idea. Do you bring a little gift? Do you not? And what I discovered is it's whatever you would like to do. Some people brought gifts for their tables mates that they knew were coming, or they didn't know who they'd be sitting with, and they had a little gift. Some people brought a little gift for everyone. Some people didn't bring anything, and that's fine. It's all over the map, so it's whatever you would like to do. But those that shared little gifts with me, I want to show you so you can see the variety and also just the generosity. I wanted to make sure to highlight that. Now, this is what I put together, and you might have seen this. I think Brenda and Laura showed it. And I want to just say, I love Laura and Brenda to pieces. Thank you for the shout out they gave to me in the last video. We had the best time together, and I had met Brenda and just enjoyed meeting her, talking with her so much. And then I've got to tell you what happened with Laura. When let's see, this is why I did all this before, because I'm starting to forget. Must have been Thursday evening, because the retreat started Friday, and I came in early, a day early. So Thursday evening, I had had dinner with some of the table mates, Cindy and Mary Lou and Brenda and some others. And Cindy had mentioned to me that that there were some ladies stitching. I said, oh, where's the room? I might come down and stitch for a while tonight, which I didn't end up doing because I was tired, but I want to know where it is. So we walked into the room, and there were tables, people gathered around just stitching and chatting. And I walked in, and I'm kind of looking and smiling, and I saw someone get up immediately that I walked in and came in and grabbed me in a big hug, and it was Laura. It was wonderful. And she said, "You're so tiny." And I said, "I look bigger on screen, right?" And we laughed about that. And I said to her, "It must be my commanding personality." Well, we had the best time. I just love them to pieces. But let me go back. What I put together, and I don't know if I'll do this for every retreat. I did this for Sampler Symposium. I did it for this retreat because I'm new to the community, and I just wanted to say hello and thank you for being so welcoming. So I put together a little packet, put together this little thread holder, which came in very handy because when we were working on the perforated paper project, we could put all of our papers there. And then I put a little business card, and I attached a little boo-boo brush, and I did it with a sticker and then put another sticker on there so people could pull those off and put them in their book of days. So that's the little packet that I gave to everybody. And Carol she works at Keepsake. Look at this. Look at this beautiful pumpkin. Isn't that lovely? So Carol did that and gave me one, and I love it. Love it. I believe she took a class from Belinda. I think I have that right. And Belinda's the one that mentioned it to me and said, you need to go look at those. And then Carol gave me one. It's so well done. Thank you, Carol. I'm just going to go through. I have a bag, and I find it interesting what different people put together to give out because it's just so creative. So this is from Karen, and it's a little needle minder button cover. I love that. And I believe that was at our table when we came in the morning. And then this is Donna McClellan, and I love this that she took the logo and put it on the card. And she had a whole basket of these beautiful ornaments that then you could just pick your favorite color. So that's the one that I picked. And then Bren and Karen from Fox and Rabbit gave us a sticker and a little pin. Love that sticker. That's going to go in my book of days. I don't know who gave me this. And it's in a beautiful little bag. If you gave this to me, because there's no name in it, please write in the comments so I can thank you. It's a little charm, and there's a bee and scissors and a pumpkin and a heart. I just love that. Of course, I love anything bees because my last name is Combs. My married last name is Combs, so I just love that. Now, Christine, who's also one of the getaway girls, gave me several things, and I love this little book. She took the logo, Mod Podged it to make a little book that you can write different things in. I think it's cute just to display or put in your traveling box. I think that is adorable. So that's what I think I'm going to do with that. So every time I see it, I think about Christine. And then this is so cute. This is well, looks like perfume. Then you take it off, and it's lipstick, but it's not. It is pincushion. And she put a couple of 28 size needles in there. So I just think that is so cute. And then also an eyeglass cleaner. So thank you, Christine. I love these. I'll keep them together and put that in my box. And then Georgia, who was at our table, let's see, gave us a beautiful box. This was tied and I took it apart. And inside she wrote, on mine, life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. And then look what she gave us. This necklace. And there's matching earrings. And, oh, look at the scissor fob. Look at that beautiful scissor fob. So thank you, Georgia. That was so sweet. And then also at our table, Cindy did these little floss drops. I love that. It's out of an old ruler and it's all, bezeled. Is that the right word, on the side? So she said, pick my favorite number. So that one, I thought it was a 3. It's actually 31, but that's close enough. 31 and then 5. I guess my favorite number is 3. I don't know why. And then Mary Lou, who lives in Georgia, made this scissor fob or floss drop. And that's got a little peach on it. So cute. Because she's from Georgia. There's a few more. Lisa, who is Lady Huzzah, which I love her floss tube. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. Actually, I'm going to take it out so the glare is not there. She made these counting pins. So here's the counting pins. Look how pretty those are. And here's her information. If you haven't seen her floss tube, please watch it. It is excellent. And then, who gave me this? Is from Joanna. And these are floss drops. Nicely done. Nice stiff paper with a beautiful scene on it. And look at the presentation. I think this is so clever. She put it in a library card. So then you can just pull it out, but then you can use this to put information about your sampler on the back when you get it framed. Now here's some more floss drops, and these are, I don't know what bag, this is by Susan Swisher, and I want to show you the floss drop, then I'll hold it so you can see the name. These are samplers. And Susan, her work is amazing. She created quite a stir. This is her Instagram. And you need to go to her Instagram, and actually, before I do that, this is Joanna. This is her Instagram. But Susan, I'm going to show you a picture. She was, well, actually, I'm going to do this first. She brought in some of her work, and then later, maybe she brought it in all together, but her husband, Steve, brought some in. There are no words. We were gathered all around, just oohing and eyeing, and I want to show you a couple of the things she had done. Now, a couple of floss tubes ago, showed you that I had been to the cross-stitch Peddler in Decatur, Alabama, and I picked up Winter is Past by Blackbird, and I did kit it, so it's all ready. So there it is, but Susan did it. Pull the picture up. She did it over 1. I think she did it on 28 count. It's a pillow, and you're going to see the picture, and there's a hand holding it. You see the finger? It's tiny. So that's winter is past. I think it's over 1 and 28 count. There were no words. It was just stunning. Then she also did Esther by Kathy Barrick, and she did it on Murky. I know Laura mentioned that, and I mean, we just kept looking at it. It's stunning. So I have ordered this chart, and I've ordered some Murky because I think that was excellent. Now, this is blurry, but she also did this, I think it's Strawberry Fields by Blackbird, over 1. It's a little pillow. I'm sorry it's blurry, but just to give you the size. Her work, amazing. So we talked to her husband, Steve, and he was so sweet, and he is so proud of her, and he was sharing some things, you know, things she had worked on, and he helped bring all the things in, and it was really lovely to meet him and to see Susan's work, and it was just totally inspirational, totally. And then the last little gift, I think it's the last gift, yeah, that I'm going to show. This is by, there's from 4 ladies who are quilters and stitchers. So Debbie, Pat, Darlene, and Mickey. Here's their Instagram. And look at the little sticker here. But there's just all kinds of things in here. So I just think it's so clever, all the different things that people give. Now there's candy. Did I get it? Oh yeah, it's full of, all right, what's stuck in there? Okay, got it. So there's some different candy, some Hershey Kisses, some Werthers. So there's candy, which I haven't eaten yet, but I'm sure I will. And then some floss drops. I love this. It's done on thick paper. Love that. And I love this black cord. I've seen the silver, but I love the black. And, oh, this is so cute. Some more floss drops. It says, the charms, there's a squirrel, an acorn. It says 2023. So thank you to Debbie and Pat and Darlene and Mickey for that. So I wanted to thank everyone for that and do it individually from last time's FlossTube, where I talked about the retreat and the things we got. Wanted to do this separately and honor them separately and thank them, because a lot of thought and preparation goes into those kind of things, and I think all of them were beautiful and so clever. So I wanted to share that with you. Pardon me. Take a drink. Talking, my throat gets dry. So let me show you. I've got some things I've been working on and a finish. Yay! I didn't intend to finish this, but it just kind of happened, and I did. And then some haul. Just checking my notes because I'm like all over the place. I kept writing different things that I kept thinking about. Yeah, let's do what I've been working on. I worked a little bit on Live on Little, which I know you've been seeing this, but I'm still working on it. And I finished the grass. I think I did a little bit more mortar. There we go. So Live on Little, you can see I finished the grass. Let me bring it close. I just love this piece. I love the colors. I love the scene. I'm going to try to hold it still so you can see. And bring it up, it's big. And I want to get it close so you can see it. I've still got to work on over here. And look at the difference. when you put the mortar in around the bricks, look at how it changes. It's beautiful. And I love those little windows up there. I just love this piece. So did I show you this? Did I do the compass? Yes, I did the compass. I think I showed that last time. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep it. But that is, I worked on it, got the grass done, got a little more mortar done. There it is. So worked on Live on Little. I did iron this. And then I folded and put it right back in the project bag. All right. And then I decided I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to show you the finish next. But first we'll do what else I worked on. I know we're talking about the field trip to the Carter house, and our leaves haven't started changing yet, but probably in the next, I don't know if it'll be the next floss tube or the one after that, but soon I'll go up there and you'll actually get to see the cabin where Mary Atkinson, she went by Polly, but where she actually stitched. And then you'll see the house later that she lived in that was in the Civil War battle. So we'll go to those two. But I decided to work on the sampler. This is Carter House Sampler 1817 by Cross Stitch Antiques. There we go. I'll bring it close up so you can see. Now the sampler, I purchased this at the Carter house. It came with the DMC floss and the, I think it's Meadow Rue. It's kind of all thrown in here. Yeah, 28 count vintage Meadow Rue, which I decided to do a smaller count. And I also saw this when I was at the Homespun Gathering in May, and Kathleen Littleton had the reproduction there, and it was on, it looked to me like a lighter linen than this. So I decided to lighten the linen. So this is on 36 count parchment by Weeks. Okay, where am I gonna put this? My finish is in the way. I need to move that. Now this piece, I started something else on it, took it out. So you'll see a little piece of something that I didn't get all the way taken out. But this one, the sampler, the photo never does it justice. This is such a fun little sampler because the S is backwards, some of the flowers are a little different. It's like started the border, started the letters, border's more fun, add some more borders. It's just all over the place. And then if you look at the bottom down here, there's a little house, which I just started. And the colors, I'll show you the colors before I hold up the sampler. Is it in there? Yeah. Was there eight colors? I just had this on a floss drop that I made. There's the colors. They're almost modern colors, seafoam green and gold, and I really like the colors. So I started working on it, and then last night I decided I better go down to the bottom to make sure I had enough. Do you do that where you start something and think, I don't have enough linen, and started to panic, so I stitched down and it's fine. So here it is. That's what I've gotten done so far. There's the, let's see, yeah, there we go. So I have plenty of linen, and here it is. And look at those funky little designs, and the colors are great. Yeah, I've got to finish the top border there, but went all the way over. I mean, look at this border here. It's just so fun. And the S is backwards. Those big letters took no time to do. Those were so much fun. And then, as I said, I went down to the bottom just to make sure I have enough. And I'm just starting, there we go. Just starting on the little house. It's not done yet, but there it is. Let me hold it up again. piece of linen's too big. It's more like about like that. So that's, here it is. That's the Carter House sampler. So I'll probably work on that a little more before we do our field trip. Rather than purchase a holder for my car, I have a little one, but I was going to purchase a big one that fits on the dashboard that I could film as we were driving up. And I thought, I don't want to purchase one. I'm pretty sure my husband has one. So I asked him, do you have one I could borrow? And he said, yeah. So I borrowed it to test it out. And he asked me the other day, because he took it back, because I haven't used it yet. And I said, did you take that out of my car? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I will need that. And he said, that's fine. Just let me know. He said, what do you want it for? Then I went into a 20-minute story about the Carter House and the sampler and the cabin. And we were driving somewhere and I'm explaining all this. And then I turned to him and said, aren't you glad you asked? And he's like, yeah. So that was fun. All right, let me show you my book of days, which the thing started out so nice and I've spilled coffee on it somehow and it's just getting very used. But there's my stickers and I just try to write what I'm working on. And when I tape the floss tubes and things like that. But what's very helpful to me is I've written in starts so that I can look and see what's what. So these are all the different things that I've started. And, well, where's my finishes? Then I have finishes. There we go. So we're going to keep track of what I've finished too. So that's helpful. So that's the book of days. And here's my finish, which I don't know. Why did I start it? Probably because, you know, I just started it in January. This necklace, it's like choking me today. I started it in January and I worked on it just a few hours. So I just had one little corner done. I saw this at the Attic when I was there in January and I loved it. It is Bonnie's Bittersweet by the Scarlet House. And they had a sample there. I loved it. Now, when I got the threads pulled, what I want to show you is, look at how blue that coverlet is. But the color that it called for was gunmetal and grapevine. And that was just too dark for me. So I ended up using Old Blue Jeans, which is bluer. I think I used gunmetal and Old Blue Jean for the coverlet, along with the toasted marshmallow. I think that's the only change I made. And also, look at how light the jar is. And I used the color, it's Dirt Road, but it was a little darker, but it's still fine. I'm gonna hold it up. So I finished it. I haven't fully finished yet, but here it is. Look at how pretty that is. Let me hold it. I just love it. Oh, I did reverse. Look at the vines and the little berries. I think it called, the vines I think were a different color that for me blended in too much with the jar. So I changed that. And I think I changed the berries too. So I guess I changed about half of the things. And I did get, I can't remember where I bought this. Of course now it's the, what do they call these, butter boards? So I will put this on here and I'm going to, I think Vonna has tutorial about that. So that's going to go on here. All right, well, I'll just hold it up. It's too big, but you can kind of see how it's going to look. So, you know, we're getting ready to go away between now and the next floss tube, we're going to be gone. And I got to get ready for that. So I don't know if I'll get that done before, but I'd like to. So that's the finish I have, which isn't a full finish yet. And we're going to be going over to the mountains in East Tennessee, West North Carolina. We're going to visit our son and daughter-in-law, spend a couple days, and I will be going to Annabelle's. So that's between now and 2 weeks. I think I told you that I'd be going before this floss tube, but I had the dates mixed up. All right, so let's do a little bit of haul, which I don't have much, and then I do have something really special to tell you. I did see this on Hands Across the Sea, and it's the panel with the samplers, and I did get a piece of it because I'm going to do project bags with it for myself. So you can see, and I'm working on Sarah Milthrop myself, so I thought that will be fun to have a project bag. So you can see, I know if you've watched Hands Across the Sea, you've seen Nicola show this. Just really fun. I think there's 12. But they're spread out, so I'll be able to cut them apart and make project bags with them. So I did purchase that. And when will I get to the project bags? I don't know. But I do have that. And then before, well, no, let's save that. Is that all the haul? Really? It's like 2 things. Seems like I had more than that, but I showed you last time just veer just for a second into knitting, but you could use this for stitching. The CocoKnits, I showed that last time. I bought this when I was up in New York, which has all everything's attached, so you can use this to put your chart on, which you could use it for knitting, but I like, the scissors clips fit right there. I think you can put a portfolio in here, but what I wanted to show you is I have this ready to go on our trip, because I can't really stitch in the car. And I know we're going to be busy while we're there, so it's going to be hard to stitch, but I can knit when people are around or I'm doing other things. So I think I'm going to do this knitting project, but I wanted to show you the tote, the CocoKnits tote, which is washable paper. It looks like suede. And the tote and the handles are sold separately. So you could just do the tote or you could do the handles, but everything fits in here. So I've got the project. Am I going to be able to tip this? The yarn, just the different things that I need in this little bag. So I wanted to share that with you because I think that would be handy for stitching too, and it folds flat when you're not using it. So I did get the carrier and the handles. Then the 2 other things that I purchased, I thought I had more. I guess not. Or did I put it up already? Oh, I didn't grab it. That's why. Okay, next time I'm going to make a note. I did get a pattern. Why didn't I put that out? Okay, like I'm asking you, like you know. Okay. I knew there was something. I'll get that next time. All right, so the other 2 things that I remembered to put out is I was looking on eBay, and I just happened to type in shaker boxes, and I found 2. So they're both vintage, which drives me crazy because vintage basically is like the stuff I have in the house now. So this is vintage from 1996, but look at this. Now, how big is that? Let's see, I got a tape measure right here. It is 7 by 5 by 3. So it's a really nice size. Nice patina. Now, hear that? The only problem with it, and I got it at an excellent price, well, maybe this is why, because when I opened it, now, the patina of the wood is gorgeous. It's in great shape, but when you open it up, it smelled like mold. Musty. So what I did, let me open it, is I set it in the sun. I have used furniture oil on it. So what I did was I've set it in the sun so the sun could beat on it and then put the oil on it, but it's getting better. But I filled it with coffee beans that will absorb the smell, and then I'll just throw them out. So it's getting better. Where I'm noticing that musty smell is in the top. So what I'll do is set it and all sealed up upside down so the coffee beans can sit on there and absorb that smell, and then I'll probably re-oil it. And so it's a process, but that's all right when you buy things that are vintage. And the other thing, and this came yesterday, and I'm so excited about this, it's a little divided tray, a shaker divided tray, and I'm gonna set this on my table when I'm stitching. So I just put a couple, well, they're all falling down, but I just put a couple of things in there. So when I'm stitching, I can just grab it, and I thought that little pumpkin fits perfect in here. Look at that, Carol. If you're watching, your little pumpkin's gonna go right in there. So I found this too. Shaker things can be very expensive, so I was pretty happy. Did not pay much for either one of those. And this one didn't need anything except I did put some furniture oil on it, and just so if it was thirsty or dry. And I can't believe I did that one pattern I've been waiting on forever. Where did I put it? I usually put anything I get in a special spot so I can share it with you, and I put that one away. Well, we'll get it next time. So the only other thing that I've got, and now two things. I was checking my messages this morning, and Cindy sent a picture to me and several other ladies from our table that she had finished Autumn on Hawk Run Hollow and had it framed. Beautiful. Which then made me kind of think, oh, that's right, my houses of Hawk Run Hollow. I need to pull that out and work on it. So here it is. And this is what I've done so far. So I think I'm actually going to work on this. I know I need to get back to Laura Standish too, but this just feels like fall. So I think I'm going to work on this. This, I've got the first 3 houses done, and I'm working on the 4th. And this is done in DMC. You see, I just started on the 4th one, just, you know, right down there, just that little quarter. And what is it stitched on? Oh, of course, my bag's down there at the bottom. Oh, here's a piece of it. It is stitched on Platinum, 40 count Platinum by Zygarde. So that, you know, here's all the different colors. I opted to do it in DMC. There's like 2 pages. Just look it open up like that. So I'm doing it in DMC, and I think the colors are beautiful. So there that is. And then the only other thing that I've got is something really special. So if you've stayed to the end, congratulations, because last time I had mentioned that if we got up to 4,000 viewers, which we were just shy of 3,500, and I thought, I know we can do 3,500. Can we do 4? We're close. So I'm going to do the giveaway anyway. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button so that you can enter. I am going to give away one of my project bags. Now, I'm just making these right now for myself. At some point, I might sell them on my Etsy store. No idea if I will or not. But I'm going to give away, oh, this one's so pretty. Some of this is my fabric designs. It's done with cotton and batiks. And here it is. It is, I think it's 10 by 14 or 11 by 14, something like that. So here it is. And I did do a little label on there. So it's purple. Look at this beautiful batik. And inside is another batik that coordinates. So this is a giveaway. So if you are a subscriber and you would like to enter to win this project bag, in the comments, what should we say? Project bag? Yeah, let's just do that. So the word is project bag. You can simply say project bag, or you can put it in a sentence, whatever you want to do. Do not say giveaway. Do not say I want to win, because then we end up getting spam and all kinds of things. So just in a sentence, use the word project bag. And the next time we will draw a winner. So here it is. This could be yours, and this is limited edition because I just made one like this. It's so pretty. So I think that's it. And next time I'll show you the chart that I've been waiting on since June that finally came. And of course, it's put up. So I'll show you that next time. I'm going to lay it out right now so I don't forget. And what am I going to work on? I think I'm going to work on the Houses of Hawk Run Hollow, because like I said, we've got to get ready to go away, and I'm going to need to start this knitting project so I can knit it while I'm gone. So I'm not sure how much stitching I'll get done in the next couple weeks, but I will show you, and hopefully we can do a little video of Inside Annabelle's, which will be the next time. I think that's it. So I'll get this uploaded. I know it's a little earlier than I usually do it, but that way I can concentrate on getting ready to go away. Looking forward. We don't get to see our son and daughter-in-law very often because they work a lot of hours, and really looking forward to seeing them. We've rented an Airbnb house, so they're going to stay with us. We're going to cook some meals and sit out by the fire pit and chat and just enjoy being in the mountains for a couple of days with family. That's what it's all about. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you've liked it, just give it that like, thumbs up. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to seeing you when in person. And I did have several people at Hobby House when I walked in come up and say, "We watch your floss tube." And I'm like, oh, it's so wonderful to meet you in person, because as I'm talking to you, I see you. I know you're out there, just like when I watch other floss tubers. We're here watching them, so I know you're there, and I want to thank you for that. I love sharing these things so much with you. I think that's it, because I could just keep rambling, and I need to clean this up. It's not quite as a mess as it was last time, but stay tuned for just a real quick video of what the chaos after a floss tube looks like, and you'll get a little sneak peek of what my sewing area looks like. So until next time, which will be 2 or 3 weeks, I want to say thank you for joining us. Happy stitching. Until next time, be well. I actually decided to do a new video turned the right way so you can kind of see my sewing room, which is where I've done so many of the quilts that I would show in classes or create patterns or magazine articles. So just this area looks pretty neat. Nothing's happening much there. Some of my storage and things kitted up, threads and supplies and linen in that cabinet. But here's where I tape, and those, someday we'll look inside those closets. But here is, when I say I have big windows, there they are. And this isn't too bad, but stuff is kind of thrown everywhere. I'll give you a close-up of what was behind me. So, not too bad. Not as bad as the last time. I step over everything, just kind of put everything everywhere. Usually those baskets are stacked up, and those things are over on this table, but I set up a little different display. And here's some of my threads and sewing machine feet. There's humming of the bees. So when I am talking to you, now that lamp's usually right over top of me, but when I'm talking to you, that's what I'm looking at, is the camera. And I don't know if you can see over there is Benji. Benji, you want to say hello? Benji, hey, you say hello? All right, so turn back around and signing off. Hope you enjoyed this little peek behind the curtain.